Hello guys, I am Dr. Devendra Mishra, working as Assistant Professor in Chemistry at Bidla Institute of Applied Sciences, right? Also running this Tetrahedron Chemistry Classes channel, and here are the links available to approach me. Hello friends, welcome back to the Tetrahedron Chemistry Classes. So guys, in the continuation of organometallic lecture series, today I am going to discuss a very important reaction of organometallic compound, and the name of the reaction is the reductive elimination reaction, and this is my lecture number 12th P, right? If you remember, in my last lecture I have explained the oxidative addition reaction, right? And see, reductive elimination is just the reverse of that oxidative addition reaction, and the concept of these the concepts used in this reductive elimination reactions are not much. Only few things, two or three things you have to understand, to actually to have to you have to understand if you want to actually learn this reductive elimination reaction. So if you have followed my oxidative addition reaction, then what you can do, whatever we have discussed in the oxidative addition reaction, just reverse of those reactions will happen in the reductive elimination reaction. So basically, reductive elimination reactions are the reverse of the oxidative addition reaction. Okay, and this is the reaction actually in which the two ligands will eliminate from the your substrate, and the two eliminating ligands must be cis to each other. This is the requirement of the stereochemical requirement of the reaction. Okay, so if you want to write some general reaction for this one, say I'm writing this. This is my ln. Okay, and this is m, and this is x, and this is y. Okay, so this is my some hypothetical complex, and what I am doing say reductive elimination for this one. So I'm writing Re for this one, and sometimes you have to supply heat. You have to heat the substrate to get your products actually. So what will happen actually, these two ligands actually will leave from here. Okay, so that means you may have your XY molecule, and then you will have your ln m, right? And this xy which I have written here, they may be of the same kind, like two hydrogens may be present there, two methyl may be present there, okay, or two ethyl may be present there, and these two may be different. Say this is hydrogen, this is bromine, right? This is methyl, this is iodide. So these two groups may be same or may not be the same, and but the condition is that these two groups which I am eliminating from here, they must be cis to each other. So this is the first criteria which you have to understand. Okay, and after that, see, say for example, this metal, say, having n positive oxidation state in this particular stage, okay, in the substrate molecule. So when it is actually undergo reductive elimination and form this particular product, then your oxidation number will change actually. So it would be now n minus 2. Okay, that means whatever the oxidation state would be here in the product, actually you will have the two less unit of that oxidation state. Say if it is +4, then it would be +2. If it is +2, then it would be 0. If it is 3, then it would be +1. Okay, so that means the reduction of the oxidation state by 2 unit is the hallmark of the reductive elimination reaction. Okay, and again you can see, you can focus on the coordination number also. Okay, so for example, here you can see, say the coordination number is B in that case, then definitely in that case the coordination number would be B minus 2. Okay, so what is the hallmark of the reductive elimination reaction? Hallmark is that when the substrate undergoes this reductive elimination reaction, then oxidation number as well as coordination number of the metal decreased or the reduced by 2. And one very important thing which you actually have to keep in mind, since I am eliminating these two group from the same metal, and you know that from the basics of the organic chemistry, you know this is 1-1 substitution. So these reductive elimination reactions are also known as 1-1 elimination reaction. Okay, and since these two positions are also known as geminal position, so you can also call it as geminal elimination, right? So either 1-1 elimination, okay, or geminal elimination, right? And then there comes the salient features what are the features actually. So see, in my oxidative addition reaction, I have actually made different categories. First I have actually I told you the the features, and then the factors affecting the reaction rate, and then I also told you the requirements of the substrates to undergo the oxidative addition reaction. But here I will not actually make that type of the classification. Here simply I will tell you what are the special features associated with this one, with this reductive elimination reaction. So point number one, which is which I already told you, coordination number and oxidation state decreased by 2 unit. So this is the hallmark of the reaction which you have to keep in mind. And number two, this point is very, very important, right? In that case, electron count of metal. This is something very, very important. Electron count of the metal increased by the 2 unit. Increased by 2 units, right? Why this electron count increased by 2 units? Because when you eliminate these two groups and form this particular bond, so it will require only one pair of electron. You know, this covalent bond is what? It is a pair of electron. So the formation of this molecule actually requires the only one pair of electron, but here you are having the two pair of electrons. So what would happen actually? One of the electron pair, either from this or this, right, depending upon the nature of the, if these two are same, say H and H, so any one pair will go to the metal. If it is say CH3, it is I, then definitely this CH3 electron pair will go to the metal actually. Okay, so that's why the electron count of the metal increased by 2 units, because this group require only a pair of electrons. So this is something very, very important which you have to keep in mind. And then there comes the third point, guys. Okay, see, in reductive elimination reaction, the entropy of the system increases, right? That means say delta S, change in the entropy actually increases. Why the entropy increases of the system? Because here you have taken only one molecule, and in the product you are getting the two molecules. That means the randomness of the reaction mixture increases, so entropy increases, right? So this is thermodynamic parameter, which again this parameter can give you a 2-marker question in your CSIR net examination. Okay, and then the point number 4. Okay, see, whenever the reductive elimination actually occur, it is common for the metals which are in actually higher oxidation state, or say intermediate oxidation state, right? See, for example, I already told you, when these two groups eliminates from here, then one pair of electron will go to the metal, and this metal can only accept electron from the ligand when it is electron deficient, right? So how it will become the electron deficient? If it is it is in higher oxidation state. And you can remember, in oxidative addition reaction, metal should be electron rich. So in reductive elimination, metal should be electron deficient. So it is very, very common. Say if you are having say a platinum +4, it is very common for platinum, right? And then another second member of this group like palladium +4. Okay, and then you can go for your iridium +3. Okay, and then you can go for your rhodium +3. So these types of the metals, since higher oxidation state means electron deficiency. When electron deficiency is there, that means it can accept the electron from here. That's why these kind of metal actually will readily give you the reductive elimination reaction. And one more important thing, not see, these reductive elimination reaction not limited up to the higher oxidation state, but sometimes in the various cases you may have the nickel 2 positive. Okay, it may also give this kind of the reaction. Similarly, palladium 2 positive can also give this kind of the reaction, right? And then you may have your gold. Okay, and many more, right? And see, very, very important, these things actually you have to understand. Okay, so this can actually decrease its oxidation state. All these can decrease their oxidation state by 2 unit, and so does this is true for these also. So this is very important. Okay, and then I'm going to explain the point number 5. And see, point number 5 is actually quite crucial for you, and if it is crucial, then definitely I'll write with this. other color, right? See, whenever you have the CP, CP, you know, cyclopentadiene anion, right? When this substrate is having, then this will never eliminate during the reductive elimination. Never eliminate during reductive elimination reactions, right? However, the reasons are not given in the book, but you can apply some certain criteria of aromaticity and other things if you want to understand the things by your own. But you can remember only this thing also. If CP is there, then it would be difficult to remove this CP from any substrate. Okay, so this is something very, very important which you have to keep in mind. And see, if you go for the say rate of the reaction, so whenever your metal is electron deficient, right, then this electron deficiency will facilitate your reductive elimination reaction. This actually I have already told you. Okay, so and then the say point number 6. Okay, the ligands which we generally eliminate must have the cis relationship between them, right? So stereochemical requirement I am writing here. Stereochemical requirement. Okay, so what is the stereochemical requirement? The eliminating group the eliminating group must have cis relationship. Okay, and why the cis relationship is important to remove these two ligands? Because actually in the intermediate state they have to interact with each other, and they can only interact if they have the 90-degree relationship. When they have the 180-degree relationship, as in the it is there in the trans stereochemistry, right? So in that case, these two groups will not actually interact, and when they will not interact, they will not eliminate from there. So they must have the cis relationship. This is something very, very important which you have to keep in mind. And then your point number 7. Okay, point number 7, this is related to the rate of the reaction, right? Point number 7 is related to the rate of the reaction. Pi acceptor ligands, pi acceptor or pi acidic ligands increases the rate of the reaction. Rate of reaction. Okay, say if your substrate is having the pi see in case of the oxidative addition reaction, if you remember, pi acidic ligands actually decreases the rate of the oxidative addition reaction, but in that case they will increase the rate of the reductive elimination reaction. This is something very, very important. Okay, see why these pi acceptor ligands will actually say pi acceptor, why this pi acceptor ligands increases the rate of the reaction or facilitates the rate of the reaction. See, say for example, you already know electron deficient metals, right? Electron deficient metals, that is metal or what I can write here, electron deficient metal. However, it is obvious when it is in higher oxidation state, metals are in higher oxidation state, they will electron deficient. So when when pi acceptor ligands are there, so they will accept the electron pair from the metal, right, and makes this metal electron deficient. So the rate of the reductive elimination increases. This is something very, very important. Okay, and another very, very important crucial aspect, without actually understanding this particular aspect, you will never be able to solve the question based on the reductive elimination, right? And what is the criteria, right? Say for example, we are eliminating this group from here, this XY, right? This eliminating substance must be unreactive. It must be unreactive, right? That means it must be stable. Okay, say for example, say you are having this type of condition, uh, XY, say it is having H and it is having I. Similarly, in second case, this X is also H and this hydrogen is also H, and say these two in the substrate, say these two, say this H and I are here and they are bearing the cis relationship. Okay, so they will eliminate as Hi. But say for example in the same substrate you are having two hydrogens attached to it from somewhere here. Instead of these Ln, I write 2H here. So these two hydrogen all are also bearing the cis relationship, so they will also eliminate. And this Hi is quite reactive when compared to this H2, right? So we will not eliminate this Hi, right? We will always eliminate this H2 because this is not reactive. However, this particular point I will explain in detail when I comes to when I'll solve the problem based on this. I hope this is clear to you. And then your next point, say the problem number 9, right? Say what would be the rate of the reductive elimination? See, if you are combining one carbon and one hydrogen and you are eliminating this type of group, then the rate would be very, very high for these substrate, followed by H and H, that means hydrogen molecule, and after that carbon and carbon molecule. So how you can understand this particular point? Say here you are eliminating CH4. Say this is CH3 for example, and it is combining with hydrogen, it is forming CH4. Hydrogen is there, okay, and then you are having, say this is CH3, this is CH3, then you will have the C2H6. Okay, if you compare all these, this methane is quite unreactive, it will not react, so it's a stable one, so rate would be highest for this one. However, hydrogen molecule is also unreactive, but it is a little more reactive than your CH4, so it comes second. And the ethane is more reactive when compared to all these. This is how you can understand by applying the basic organic chemistry. Okay, and definitely in certain cases there are different examples also in which actually two different metals are also involved. So these features you have to keep in mind. If you know these features, then it would be quite easy for you to actually solve the problem based on this. So I'm going to solve the problems now, and see, I'll solve only a few problems here, and for rest of the problem you can go through your textbook and understand how actually it is happening. Say my problem number 1, I'm having my rhodium here, and this rhodium is having say CH3, and this is having your hydrogen, okay, and this is say PPH3 triphenyl phosphine, and this is chlorine, and here you can write PPH3. Okay, say this is my substrate, fine, and this substrate is undergoing reductive elimination, so I'm writing Re for this one. No condition required, you can heat the substrate only. Now you can see here this methyl and this hydrogen, they bear the cis relationship. Cis relationship, that means the angle should be 90 degree. So the angle between these two groups is 90 degree. However, it is quite difficult to understand or to observe this angle in this particular model. But if you follow my stereoisomerism in coordination compound lecture, right, then you will understand how we can assume or how we can actually predict the bond angle, right? So you can go through the YouTube and type stereoisomerism in coordination compounds by tetrahedron chemistry classes, then you will get the results, and then you can understand the things very easily. Okay, and see, these two are having cis relationship 90 degree. Similarly, this hydrogen and this chlorine is also having the cis relationship, and this CH3 and this Cl, they are also having the cis relationship. So one pair, second pair, and third pair. Now which actually which group you will eliminate from here? For example, if you eliminate CH3 and Cl, so CH3Cl is a polar molecule, it's a reactive one, so we cannot eliminate this one. Similarly, if you want to react HCl, then HCl again, it's a polar molecule, so it is also reactive, so we cannot eliminate these two also. So what option I left? I left only this particular option. I can combine this CH3 and H, as I already told you. Then I'm having my CH4, and see, by this I am producing some organometallic compound and also producing some important organic compounds. Okay, and then you left with this particular complex, that is RH. This is your pH3, which would come here. Okay, and this is your Cl, and rest of the two triphenyl phosphine, PPH3 and PPH3. So what had happened in this particular reaction, you can very easily observe. Here you can see this is -1, -1, -1. Rhodium was in +3 oxidation state. And when it undergoes the oxidation reductive elimination reaction, so this oxidation state must be reduced by the 2 units. So you can write here +1. So it is only +1, only one chlorine is there. And this I have already told you how we can determine the oxidation state, all these things in my lectures. If you are new here and watching the lecture for the first time, then you can go through the organometallic chemistry playlist by tetrahedron chemistry classes. You can find all the things there. First thing, this compound was octahedral. 6 coordination number is there. Okay, but this compound is square planar, and coordination number in that case is 4. Okay, so in this example I have already told you how it is happening. For rest of the example I will only make the product, and it is your duty to assign the oxidation state, right, the structure and the electron count. Okay, since actually this electron count, see, oxidation state is decreased by 2 units, then definitely it will having the 2 extra electron here. So you can count the electron of all these species, right? If it is 18 electron species, for example, then it should be 16 one. Okay, and in this particular way you can understand the things. Okay, so this is one example, very important, very crucial example. And then I can take one more example. See, I'll take the number of examples today. Actually, if you are my regular viewer, you know this thing, that whenever I teach a particular topic, I solve a plenty of the problem based on this, so that you will be able to solve any kind of the problem in your CSIR, NET, GATE and IIT JAM examination. So I am putting my CH3 here and another CH3 here. Okay, and then this is phosphorus. This is phosphorus. Diphenyl type of group is there, and right, this is carbon, this is carbon. Okay, and this is the chelate one, so it is very difficult to remove this during the elimination reaction. Extra stability is there. And now we have to check the cis relationship. Only these two methyl are having the cis relationship. So if you dissolve this compound in the DMSO, which is written in the textbook, and if we heat the reaction mixture, then this CH3 would combine and it will give you the CH3, single bond CH3, a very important organic compound, ethane you are getting. And then you are having palladium, and you are, say, this is phosphorus, and these are the two groups, so PPH2. So in that case it is having the +2 oxidation state, and in that case it is having the 0 oxidation state. Coordination number was 4, coordination number is 2, and you can also count the total number of the electrons. Okay, so this is a very important example, very important example. And then I'm going to explain some other example. Say for example, you are having example number 3. Say you are having this gold complex, okay, Au, and you are putting some ethyl here, and say methyl is here, and arbitrarily say some L ligand is there. It could be anything actually. Okay, and this is methyl, right? And what you will do the reductive elimination for this one, RE, reductive elimination. So this and this is having cis relationship 90 degree. These two are having the cis relationship 90 degree. These two are having the cis relationship 90 degree. These two are having the cis relationship 90 degree. Okay, so because they are 90 degree, but this L is not defined, so we will not focus on this particular L. However, if this L is defined, then you have to consider this L also. Now you have to remove, see, this ethyl and this methyl, they have the trans relationship, so they cannot interact. Actually, they cannot form the three-membered ring during this transition state, so they cannot be eliminated, right? And you can eliminate these two having the cis relationship. You are having, you can eliminate these two. This is having the cis relationship. Now, another very important aspect which you will learn, right? Say, and that aspect is the steric crowding. Actually, this point I forgot to mention in the features actually, steric crowding. So bulky group will eliminate first. Bulky group will eliminate. Okay. So these two are having cis relationship, and these two are all these two are also having the cis relationship. So you have the two option. So first you can remove ETME. Actually, what is ETME? CH3, CH2, CH3, propane. And you can remove these two Me. That is Me and Me. What is Me? CH3 and CH3. So whenever you do the reductive elimination, then you will eliminate the bulkier group first. This is something very, very important. This steric effect, or you see the crowding effect, right? Whenever the bulky groups are there, they will increase the rate of the reaction. They will facilitate the reaction. So what product you will get actually? Say you have this one and you have this one, and along with this you are having your AuLMe. Okay, but this actually will eliminate first. So major product would be this one, and this is the minor product. So stereochemistry also actually, see, this steric crowding also actually controls the reaction, right? And what I can do, I can actually change this particular substrate so that you may have some different kind of the product also, but I'm not doing that problem right now, because I told you the concept actually, so you can apply your concept by your own actually. Okay, and then do the things, right? And then see my next problem. What problem I can take? Okay, say I am having this particular problem. Okay, I can take this tantalum. Okay, this is H. So these reactions are not only limited to your transition metals actually, right? You can go for the lanthanides also. You can go for the actinides also. Okay, so say this is H, and this is another H, and these two are CP, cyclopentadienyl anion, जो कि मैंने आपको, see where I told you this here. Okay, here I told you. And they are the eta 5. Eta 5, you know, this is hapticity. What is the meaning of that? That this tantalum metal is attached to the all 5 carbons actually, right? So I'm not going to explain all these things. I have explained the hapticity in my first lecture. You can go there and understand the things. Okay, and then you can do the reductive elimination for this one. What is the coordination number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these two are having the cis relationship. These two are also having the cis relationship. You can actually draw the trigonal bipyramidal structure for this one to understand the geometry. But I'm telling you, these are having the cis relationship. So you can remove the hydrogen from here. It is unreactive, right? So it is very good product to eliminate from here. And then you are having the tantalum, and this tantalum will have the hydrogen here. And then you are next to cyclopentadienyl anion with eta 5. That means hapticity is 5. 1, 2, 3 hydrogen, you know, it's donate only one electron pair, so it will having the +3 oxidation state. Here it will having the +1 oxidation state. So decreased in coordination number by 2 unit, decrease in the oxidation state by 2 unit, and it's an 18 electron system. Then it would be a 16 electron system. You can count the electron by your own actually. So I'm telling you, it is 18 electron system, then it is 16 electron system. So electron count actually, sorry, not 18, sorry, this is not like that. Sorry, this is not like that. It's because this number of electrons have to increase. So if it is having certain kind of the electron, then these two must have 2 additional electrons. So I'm not writing the electrons, right? And you can do, you can count the electron by your own. Okay. So I hope you are understanding the things actually. And then say one more example, one which I think is the important one. Okay, and say you are having say problem number 5. Say again it's a rhodium complex, and say this is ethyl. Okay guys, and this is SiMe3 trimethylsilane. It is attached here, and here it is your PPH3 triphenyl phosphine you can add, and here you can put your chlorine. Okay, and then you can put your triphenyl phosphines here, PH3 and PH3. Say this is your complex actually. Okay, now see, in all the cases you are eliminating the cis ligands which are cis to each other. So in that case you can find, see, this ethyl and this having the 90-degree relationship, so you can remove CH3 CH2 Cl. This is one possibility, and then you can eliminate this silane in the center and 3Me along with this Et. So you can eliminate these two because these two are also having the cis relationship. Similarly, you can eliminate this Si, and these 3Me are here, and you can add this chlorine along with this one if you are doing the reductive elimination, and then you will have your rhodium. Okay, and say your 3 PPH3s, PPH3, this is also PPH3, this is also PPH3. I'll add the another ligand right later on. So if you compare these three, which would be the most, see, this is the polar molecule, so you cannot eliminate this. Okay, and again see, chlorine is there, this is a polar molecule, you cannot eliminate this, so the chlorine will not eliminate from the substrate, so you can write your chlorine here. But this compound, you know, this compound is very famous compound. If you put actually methyl here instead of the ethyl, then it would be the tetramethylsilane, a very important TMS in your NMR spectroscopy, right? It's a stable compound, so you will eliminate this trimethylsilane along with the ethyl, so these two will eliminate. Okay, and all the things will remain as such in that case. Okay, and if you know the electron count and all these things, then you will understand. Okay, so you cannot actually eliminate all the things, but you have to consider the reactivity of the product also. So I hope this is quite clear to you. Okay, and then say I can give you one or two more example, and then you can do practice by your own. Say 5 problem I have solved for this one. Okay, and this is my problem number 6. Okay, and what I'll do, okay, say I'm giving you the zirconium complex just like that. Okay, this is your cyclohexyl, this is hydrogen, this is another hydrogen, and these two are the cyclopentadienyl with hapticity of the 5, eta 5. Okay, so this is the complex, and now you are doing the reductive elimination for this one, reductive elimination. So this part, this cyclohexene, ethylene cyclohexene part and hydrogen, they are having the cis relationship. But if you combine this with this, then there is no way by which you can add the hydrogen to this one. If you add the hydrogen to this one somewhere, then it would be a reactive molecule. So you cannot eliminate these two. What option you left? See, these two CP are having the cis relationship, but I have already told you these two CP are quite difficult. It is not possible. They never eliminate from here. So these two we cannot eliminate. Similarly, this CP and hydrogen, again CP is there, so this will we will not eliminate because they are the aromatic one. We don't want to disturb them actually. Okay. So what option I left? I left only these two hydrogens. Okay. So what I'll do? I'll put these two hydrogens here, and then I am having my product just like that. It should be should look like the 6-membered. Sorry for my poor drawing. Okay, and this is Cp, this is Cp, all having the eta 5 and 2 hydrogen, so it is +2, and it's neutral, it is 0. So oxidation state decreased by 2 units, electron count increased by 2 unit. Okay, coordination number decreased by 2 units. So this is another example. And then guys, another thing, say I'm giving you a problem here, right? I'm giving a problem. What problem I'm giving to you? Say you have been given, say, 3 complexes. Say this is vanadium, and this vanadium is having methyl here and 1 carbonyl here, another carbonyl here, and 1 methyl is here, and here say your trimethyl phosphine PME3 and PME3, right? Not phosphine, actually this is trimethyl, substitution on the phosphorus. So this is the one complex, and then you have given the second complex, say osmium, and you are having, say, NCMe here and NCMe here. Isocyanide substitution, methyl substitution on the isocyanide. You have given, say, this one. You're having the methyl here, and you are having, say, POME whole thrice. Okay, and then you are having methyl here, and then again you are having POME whole thrice. See, this is your second complex. And third complex, say you are having, say, some platinum complex you are having, and this platinum complex, say 2 methyls are here. Okay, and MECN is here, and PME3 is here, and 1 PME3 is here, and another methyl here. Now say if you have given these 3 complexes, and you have to tell which one would undergo reductive elimination briskly or very readily, and you have to suggest the reasons also. So first of all, you have to check what whether the metal is electron deficient or the electron rich. For this you have to calculate what the oxidation state. Okay, and in that case, you know, the methyl actually donate only 1. Okay, so vanadium is in +2 oxidation state. Okay, similarly 2 methyls are here in that case. Okay, this osmium is also having +2 oxidation state. All are neutral in nature, all groups are neutral in nature. So these two are actually giving this +2 oxidation state, these two are giving the +2 oxidation state, and in that case 1 2 3. Okay, and say 1 positive is over there. So 1 2 3 and 4, it is in +4 oxidation state. So this particular complex, in this particular complex, this platinum is having electron deficiency. That means it is in higher oxidation state, so it will give this reductive elimination reactions if you have given all these 3. So this is something very, very important, guys. And one more important probability type of question they may ask in your examination. And what is that? But what is that? Say how we can exemplify that particular example. So see, I don't know whether this complex is formed or not, but for the sake of explaining, actually I'm taking this particular example. Say I'm having my rhodium here, and 1 hydrogen I have attached here, another hydrogen I have attached here, and 1 hydrogen I have attached here, and say another hydrogen I have attached here, and these are the 2 L ligands. Say you have this particular kind of the complex. Okay, so see, these two are having the cis relationship, these two are also having the cis relationship, these two are also having the cis relationship, similarly these two are also having the cis relationship. So total how many sets you can form? Say if I say this is hydrogen number 1, this is hydrogen number 2, this is hydrogen number 3, this is hydrogen number 4. Excuse me, sorry. 1 and 2, they are cis. 2 or 3, they are also cis. 3 and 4, they are also cis. And then 2 and 4, they are also cis. Okay, so no other combination actually is possible, right? You can see these two hydrogen can eliminate, these two hydrogen can eliminate, these two hydrogen can eliminate. So if you consider this as 100%, okay, or 100, and you have the 4 combination, so you'll have the 25%. Okay, so what will happen? Each set of the hydrogen will have the 25% probability to eliminate from this particular substrate. So this kind of question they may ask in the examination. And lastly, what I can do. Okay, so that's it, guys. So this is all about your reductive elimination reaction, and I have given you the various examples to understand the things. And it is your duty to practice more and more questions from your, say, previous year questions and all these things. And one more important thing which I have to actually, with the important point which I have to make here, and or I would like to make here. See, I am explaining the reaction separately. First I have explained the oxidation reaction. Now I have explained this reductive elimination. In the next day I'll go for the beta hydride elimination and then the migratory insertion reactions. But in examination you will have the amalgam of these problems. So what you can do, I have given you the 2 chapter. You can make problems by your own by combining the oxidative addition and reductive elimination, and you can do the multi-steps reactions also, because in examination they will rarely ask the straightforward question where it is oxidative addition, reductive elimination, right? So, but they will, especially in the 4 marker question, they will give you the number of problems. They will give you the 4 steps. And in this 4 steps, one would be oxidative addition, other would be beta hydride elimination, then next would be beta hydride, see your migration reaction, right? So you have to actually apply all the concept, all knowledge of you have to apply all the knowledge which you are gaining through the lectures, and then you have to solve the problems. However, see, when I will complete this reaction mechanism part in the coordination chemistry, I will also explain this multiple step problems. So that's it for guide today. Okay, thank you very much.